Hey Arcturian Starseeds, welcome to Starseed Energetics. My name is Bora and I'll be reading your December energy. Happy holiday season. It's a really great time to be recalibrating your system and basically, resetting your goals and whatnot. Because of this collective energy, even if you don't believe in New Year's resolutions or following calendrical dates, it's a really, really powerful momentum that you can be using. Okay, I'm definitely getting a really, really huge infusion for this reading. My consciousness just shifted heaps. I think that's like a Australian slang. It's so funny. Okay, let's see what's happening with you. One, two, three. Okay. Yeah, this is a totally, I don't know how to, this kind of reading requires a lot of decoding. It's not a very easy or light reading at all. So get ready to try to understand what I'm trying to say. But I speak to you in telepathy first and energy second. But I speak to you in energy and telepathy first, and then the rest of the transmission is English. But yeah. The bottom of your deck, which is the overall general theme, and I usually view this as your internal state throughout this whole thing, is silent. So you have this observer seat that you've kind of mastered, and it has also a lot to do with your third eye, because I never really paid attention to that, but to me it's standing out right now. So you are able to observe your inner pictures, and when you are basically navigating through the reality that you're experiencing, it's not just, if you think about it, about your sensory perception. A lot of the times it's intermingled with your inner vision that people don't really even try to separate, or they don't even notice. For example, if you are walking down the street and you see like a tree and a homeless person, you simultaneously most of the time have a flashback of a memory from the past or some kind of image in your inner vision that is interacting with what's currently happening. That's usually our experience. And a lot of times people dismiss the inner vision because they think it's just some thought form, but actually a lot of the times it's more than that. It's whether it's an intersection of timelines or realities, it's very significant. So to me, you are very aware of that inner screen. Maybe your third eye is opening a lot, maybe you've been doing something to open your third eye even more, but definitely it's happening. And look, this one comes up as well that I just randomly shuffled. It's consciousness, and look at the same kind of third eye. So this is clarity and perception. And as I say, your highest third eye activity is actually absolute clarity and perception. It's transparency in awareness rather than hallucinatory kind of, extra sensory vision. It's more clarity. So that's what you're getting. And in the recent past, you have We Are the World card, which to me, in this context, talks about your linking with your soul tribe. So somehow, through the interwebs or whatever, through, I guess, whatever you're doing, you have linked up with a lot of your soul family through the grid. And these are your, I guess, Arcturian family members or whatever that you've been doing to reach out to them energetically. You've synced with some of these people, and you might think, oh, I only made like 2 or 3 new friends. But all of those people have made 2 or 3 new friends, and now they formed a grid, I guess, over the past year or whatever, you know? And now I see that you are beginning to slow down in terms of how you are experiencing this, I guess, reality, which is great. This is like you getting more present. So if you look at this turtle, it's moving through these, you know, rainbow waves. I kind of view that as like this event, you know, this event waves, this solar flash, or whatever you want to call that photonic activity or the plasmic kind of transmutation that's occurring. I feel that it's really impacting you on so many different levels, and you are getting present with it because you have no choice but to be present for this. This isn't something you can just like rush through. It's energetically actually impacting you to slow down and really get reflective on an internal level. And a lot of the times, I would say, you know, to a lot of people who are having this kind of internal reflection energy, I would recommend, you know, have a hermit month, you know, stay home, don't socialize too much. But I cannot say that for this spread, because you're at a level where you are so integrated with the universe and that you are so refined in your reflection that internal reflection is actually becoming external as well. So this means that you've cultivated a capacity to look at other people and projections and realities and environments and have an internal reflection through them. It's integrated. So this aloneness card talks about not being lonely but alone and enjoying your presence, but you're able to do that with others because this is in the recent past. So go ahead and have a social month. You know, it's the holidays, but I see that you are experiencing these encounters, whether you're alone or whether you are with people, whether some things are happening. You are at this post-grad level almost, where other people are aspects of you and you realize that while it's occurring. Yeah. Now in your foundation, this is really, really cool because you have the source and you have new vision. Don't they just kind of speak this language? I mean, this is your foundation. Like they fell out together. So this is the one infinite creator's new vision. This is that chapter. This is you having an individual experience as part of a collective. Like that is just absolutely crazy, right? But it's happening and you're the one that's experiencing that, I guess, at the forefront, and you will really see how it plays out. I am really called to tell you one of my favorite phrases in the entire world that just makes my heart happy is a phrase from the Law of One. You know, just the way they end each session. Go forth, rejoice in the power and the peace of the one infinite creator. And that is what I'm getting for your vibes as your whole reading. In your crowning position, I'm not sure why this card is there, so I'm gonna have to pull clarifiers. Because it's a strange energy to be there from this spread. I think I'm getting it, actually. I feel that, okay, actually I don't even need the clarifier because they answered it for me, but since I already shuffled this, maybe I'll be needing this later. I feel that when you were, before you were like heavily conditioned into the third density paradigms, you were very in touch with your collective, especially your soul family. You were telepathically tuned, and you knew on a lot of levels that they were connected with you on many different levels, that your thoughts were not private. They're not even your own. You just kind of resonate with certain thoughts, right? And you'd been suppressing this connection after this conditioning happened. So this connection hadn't been lost, but suppressed. So that's what you are realizing. And it's going to be such a profound realization for you. In the near future, I need to just finish what I was saying. It's going to be profound because you're going to realize that this isn't something new. This connection isn't something that's being established or even reestablished, but just revealed. It's always been there. And you're going to be like, holy mother of something. In the near future, you have innocence with compromise. Now, let me get clarifiers on this because, yep, that shuffling for was this. For was this. What? Confused? Are you confused? It shows that you're confused, or that you will be confused, or kind of just really surprised at all of your options. Page of Swords. The Devil. I guess what's happening here is when you reestablish or reveal this connection of this collective reality, in terms of your reality has always been collective, your thoughts have always been collective, your emotions have always been collective, then you have to come to terms with this I guess this image that you've built up, this facade that you've built up, and the different categorization that you've built up in your psyche, and that will really trigger a level of yourself that was bounding you to a certain way of living. And you're going to have to really compromise some of your values that are not even your own, but that you've built up because you were, denying a certain reality that was true to you. And my advice to you would just be to accept it and have this innocent outlook on it. And just it's not a compromise that you'll be making when you decondition yourself with a lot of these things. It will free you. Like if you look at these, it's not a good energy to be having, and this is what's breaking apart. Basically, this is what you're compromising, but a lot of these thoughts in your head are trying to convince you that this is too much. Like all of these changes are too much. But because you have this energy as your overall kind of vibes, I am not concerned about how you're going to be handling this. Now this is a So let me just, in your self position, you have understanding. You're breaking free. You're being set free from an understanding. And what are you breaking free from? Control, external control. You're breaking free from any notion of external control, any influence of external control, which is, you know, a lot to do with the clarifying card that was the devil, right? As well as the compromise card. So having any blame or unforgiveness or resentment towards any external figure that represented this for you, that's what you're breaking free from. So if you have resentment towards any external figure or person about anything, that's the part that has to go. So that's the compromise you have to make, is you have to be willing to stop blaming or punishing them energetically for the external control, because you are transcending the level of external control. You cannot transcend from this prison matrix or whatever you want to call it without releasing your need to constantly blame somebody for what they did to you, or being able to forgive somebody for what they did to you. So that's what you're working on. And so forgiveness is something that you want to work on, and do not postpone it. You're gonna want to postpone this, but don't postpone it. And your last card, if I can get some clarifiers on this one. They say that a lot of your resentment comes from comparison. So if you feel like somebody's done you wrong or you've missed an opportunity, it's because you're comparing your archetype, and it's because you're comparing your timelines with something that's already existing. But your timeline is very unique, and your experiences is extremely unique. And people might be like, okay, how do you know that? How do you know that my timeline has never existed? And how do you know that this is completely new? Because I keep saying, you know, with this crystalline children and this paradigm that we're living through, it's not something that has existed before as a blueprint at all. It's new. That's why you have to be willing to originally think and do things from authenticity. And it's like, you know, out of all of those years of evolution, this is really new. Do you have memory of living a life, any other life than your own right now? Other than, you know, like maybe past lives or whatever. But even when you're recalling past lives or remote viewing other timelines, it's a new experience of that. It doesn't mean that you actually lived that life, but it's like it's coming into your life to be integrated, but it didn't necessarily have had to happen. It's just being downloaded as a past life or a parallel life. The only experience you're aware of is your own. So how can you look at other people's lives or past history of lives and try to compare it to yourself, because you are not conscious for those? So that message was really relevant for some people. Okay, so that was the end of your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have the most amazing holiday season, and I really look forward to connecting with you for January. I'll be having some really cool New Year's spread for all of you Starseeds. Talk to you soon. Bye.